always right. How does he know that rye whiskey handles double barreling better than bourbon? Now, better? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just better, dude.
Because, as we talked about before,
shnikes.
so my father has two theories, generally speaking. Cocktails and double barreling. It's the same principle. Rye whiskey is generally better for both.
I think it's superior.
It's superior because we discussed it in the most recent episode. What are the most common flavor notes in bourbon?
Yeah, so we just talked about it a little bit. So, yeah.
Cherry
typically, or a red fruit.
Vanilla,
caramel, sometimes chocolate. Sometimes you'll get barrel char. Sometimes you'll get sweet oak or bitter oak. But those are your basic flavors. Now, the ryes are super interesting because
when you finish a bourbon, the risk that you run is that it will be too sweet. Because you already have vanilla.
Yeah.
Confectionery sugar is usually a note that we find.
Yeah, caramel.
So if you then add more...
toasted marshmallow.
Yeah, so if you add if you amplify that, which is what double barreling will do, you run the risk, especially with like finishing with more interesting...
well, here, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
High West, the cask collection.
Yeah.
It's their bourbon finished in rum barrels.
Yes.
And in theory, you're like, oh, that's cool. The problem that I had with it is that bourbon is sweet.
Rum
is sweet. So at the end of it, you just get a washed out, sweet, sort of a mess of stuff, right?
The RD1 is really sweet.
Yeah, the RD1 maple is, to me, it's not drinkable just on its own. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just so sweet.
It's really sweet.
It's just so sweet, you can't do it.
But rye whiskey, what are the main notes in rye whiskey?
So it depends.
Of course.
So we did a whole boogaloo about rye whiskey. So there's different regions of rye. There's different mash bills.
Run it down briefly.
Real quick. So
go in order of intensity.
So the lightest stuff is going to be your Kentucky ryes.
Yes.
Now, we've talked about it before. To be legally classified a rye whiskey, the mash bill has to contain a minimum of 51% rye.
Yes.
Correct? So in Kentucky, their sweet spots are typically 51 to 53% of the mash bill is going to be rye, a butt ton of corn, and malted barley. So those to me are like beginner ryes, right? If you're coming from the bourbon world and you want to dip your toes in the pool of rye whiskey, I'd stick with Kentucky ryes first.
Name a couple barrels or name a couple bottles.
Oh, well, we did a whole thing. Old Forester rye, Wild Turkey 101 rye, Sazerac rye.
So on and so forth.
Yeah. So just look on the back and make sure it was distilled in Kentucky.
Now, next step up.
The next step up is going to be like your mid-rise or your middle rise. So that's going to be, your mash bills are going to be anywhere from 60 to probably 80% of the mash bill is going to be rye. You're going to get a lot more of that in Maryland, like the Sagamore folks do. Pennsylvania, they're known for their ryes, and they're on the higher rye side. And then your highest rye stuff is going to be your 95.5. So if you've ever been in the whiskey world and people talk about 95.5 rye, that's 95% rye, 5% malted barley. So there's no corn in that mash bill.
Corn makes the drink a lot sweeter.
Correct. So like Sagamores are great because it's a good middle ground, because they still use corn, but they don't use as much corn as the Kentucky.
And that tamps down the rye. Whereas once you get into the 95.5 rye, it's spearmint.
It hits you right in the teeth. And then like Woodinville has 100% rye. I think New Riff's they do a couple 100% ryes. I could be wrong, but
so that's 100% rye is very difficult to pull off.
So that's a brief explanation of rye. Now, a few episodes back, we talked about this distillery, Short Barrel. They're out of Georgia.
These boys are good. They're doing some really interesting stuff out there in Georgia.
We did the toasted.
And it was fantastic.
Really good, yeah.
We did it and OKI's double oaked back to back.
Yeah.
Both were
those
excellent.
are both awesome. Well, so we talked about this in an episode that we did with the Rio from Penelope. So this is going to be Short Barrel. It's called the Afterswarm number 2.
Yes, this is their second batch, which has a undisclosed amount of batch 1 mixed into it.
Correct. Double barrel toasted, finished in honey casks.
So technically this is
Triple finish.
triple finish?
Yeah. Yeah, and original white oak barrels.
And then it's...
And then they double barreled it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stuck it in
barrels that they had done
honey barrels.
To.
Now this is going to be Kentucky and Indiana. So
thankfully...
This is a straight rye whiskey. So think of it this way. So you're going to get 95.5 rye from MGP in Indiana. And then you're going to get some Kentucky rye, which is going to be on the sweeter side.
And thankfully, Short Barrel is quite straightforward with regards to where they source their whiskey. They get it from Green River, which is where I would get it.
I would get it from them as well.
If I was sourcing whiskey in Kentucky, it'd be from Green River.
Now, the cool thing is, you can't see it, it's got a 6-year age statement.
Yep.
Now, I just looked at the price. Shit's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
There's $100 bottle. So...
I think on the website it was something silly like $112.
Yeah, but so Short Barrel, we talked about it. If you hadn't watched the other episode that we did, we talked a little bit about Short Barrel. Actually, we talked a good bit about them. They're doing some pretty wild stuff. Really cool stuff with sourcing. Really cool stuff, aging stuff in secondary barrels and blending it together.
The bourbon alternative to the Afterswarm is the Bee's Knees, which is the same like process, but they use bourbon instead of rye.
Yeah, and for me, I kind of felt bad because I missed out on that one. Yeah. But then once we found the rye and I drank it, I'm like, I don't feel bad at all. Because this smells awesome.
The problem, you could say, or the consideration when it comes to bourbon that is double oaked or finished in honey cask or both, is that it is too sweet. And that's because the bourbon ends up...
Yeah, well, we just talked about it with the...
Yeah, it ends up...
it's
ends up like fading together. Whereas if you use rye, as this release has, the rye stands out, and then it also has the finishing characteristics, which as whiskey dorks, that's what we're after. It's the fullest expression of the whiskey. It's not just using the whiskey as a vehicle to get to the sweet. Yeah. Sweet for sweet sakes just doesn't do it for me. However, this is amazing. Oof. Got that nice spearmint mintiness. Maybe a little tea note in there. Mm-hmm. So the tempered by barrel char.
Mm-hmm. So the 95.5 really, really jumps out at you.
Mm-hmm. The dull tea note that you have identified before is either white tea or green tea. Yeah, and then you can smell the sweetness, but unlike other stuff that we've had, it's not a conventionary sugar or powdered sugar. Mm-hmm. But I don't get a ton of honey on the nose. It just smells awesome. Let's give it a shot. Oh my goodness. Oh my Lord, that's so good. And the nice thing is, so up front, it's just 95.5. It's rye spice,
spearmint, rye spice, baking spices, just like bam right there, and then like right around the mid palate for the end, switches over, and you get that. That's where you get the honey influence, which is just freaking amazing that blenders they know how to do that shit. It's like, oh, it's too much on the front, or it's not enough, or I want it more on the mid or the back. It's amazing what they're doing. And then just afterwards now, because you got it still down there, it's got that wildflower, like that raw, unfake, horseshit honey.
Processed.
Yeah, unprocessed. Yeah, smell that and then go back into there. Yeah, because after taking a sip, now I get more honey on the nose. But right off the bat, I didn't.
You have to get acclimated to the rye spice.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially since we've been drinking bourbon all day.
Dude, this is so good.
A lot more honey.
Holy shit.
It's a very thick, earthy note on unprocessed honey.
Now, we did talk. Oh, good Lord, that's so good. Oh.
I can barely give tasting notes.
Bro,
it's so impressive.
You could just make that into like a cologne. Just spicy and minty, and then that odd wildflower honey that's so interesting. It's just put together so well.
Extremely well executed.
Oh my Lord, I forgot what I was going to say. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, I will say this.
There you go.
We talked about it with the toasted.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the market you're in, where you live in this crazy country of ours, maybe you see these, maybe you don't. Central Texas, when we were hunting the other day, we saw them at one of the new stores we went to, and then we hit our local afterwards.
And there was like 5.
Yeah, there was a ton, right? So now most people don't, at least in Central Texas, at least in North Texas as well, like ryes aren't a huge, people would be more than happy to hunt for buffalo trace and eagle rare.
Well, he's made fun of people plenty for saying that rye is only for the summertime.
Yeah.
To which you responded, do you not have air conditioning in your house?
You have AC. I mean, it's not difficult. But what do I know? But I'll tell you what, I mean, I could go buy another one of these right now. Now, to be fair, at our local big box store, was $91. At the small mom and pop place we went, it was $100. So I paid $10 more. But to be fair, I didn't know our big box store had it, and I had never seen it before. I had only seen the stuff online. Now, here's one of the cool things, though. So if you like rye whiskey, and you really want to try like something like this, a toasted barrel finish and a honey finish, their online stuff is pretty good. Mm-hmm. And so if you're going to pay a little bit more, but if you're jonesing to get one and they don't sell it in your market, you can go on Short Barrel's website and order you one.
Which I really appreciate, because Short Barrel is a smaller
organization. Yeah, relatively newer as well. Like I really think, I mean, I didn't start seeing them so probably about the last year. So I'm sure they've been doing it before then, but you know, it's just recently that their presence has sort of gotten out, and their big claim to fame was this honey barrel stuff.
Yeah, the bees things.
Yeah, that's what I first saw. For me personally, I'm much happier with the rye whiskey.
I'd be happy to try the bees things just because they're on batch 5 and it's kind of their claim to fame. Mm-hmm. But
it would be interesting, but
for our palate, like
I'm such a rye snob when it comes to finishing barrels that it's like I'm happy just drinking this. Now at $100, let's call it 90 to 100.
That's a lot of money.
We're not going to be drinking a lot of it, just like with the toasted barrel. I think we haven't touched it since we reviewed it,
and probably won't.
It's expensive,
but Lord, is it cool?
Yeah. This was an expensive week for us. I think with the exception of
Rio, Short Barrel, Jefferson's Reserve. Yeah, you know,
it was an expensive week.
Sometimes you have to spend a little bit more on whiskey, but
yeah, I know we just talked about it. I'm not disappointed with anything that we bought.
Not at all. It was a very productive round of whiskey hunting.
But yeah, I think the Penelope Rio is very odd. If you want to see that, you can go watch that video either before or after this one. I'm not sure when they come out.
The Jefferson's Reserve was fine.
It was good. But this is one of those
remarkable.
Holy crap.
It's like, if you have the means to do so, acquire this bottle like right now.
Yeah, because it's interesting. I don't want to talk about the Penelope, but it's on the same level where that was put together so well, right? With the 2 wild finishes.
Yeah.
This is put together really well, like really, really well.
Extremely well.
Yeah. Like that rye jumps out at you, the spearmint, the mint, the spicy notes.
I'd go so far as to say that
coated with honey.
Short Barrel is the most interesting and impressive small distiller that there is.
Yeah, they're pretty small. I'm going to say they're smaller than 13th Colony.
Mm-hmm.
13 Colony is pretty small.
Mm-hmm. But 13 Colony has they've been around a little bit longer. They have a bit more of it developed. I don't even know if it's right to call them distillers. The whiskey production organizations, Short Barrel is the most interesting that is on the market right now.
I think so.
Like, you compare these to a Nulu or a Blue Run, it's not even comparable.
No, and to be fair, not to shit on those guys, but I wouldn't even spend any more money on their stuff.
It's just not worth it, especially when you got these guys.
Yeah, and we talked about it before, so sound like a broken record. My bad. We've talked about it before. We had an industry video talking about NDPs, and you asked, are they going to be in trouble? And I said, it depends. These guys,
they're going to be fine.
No chance they run into trouble because they are doing really cool stuff and at a high level.
Yes.
Really, really interesting. So now I will say, you better like rye whiskey.
Right. Don't jump into a 95.5, which is good that they're so forthright about it, because like if you're looking at it on the website and you read that they use a 95.5 rye, if you're not ready for that, maybe buy it anyway just because it's cool, but...
Yeah, I mean, you might get there one day, right?
You gotta ease into it.
Yeah. And they do, I mean, it's still very, very spicy, very minty. Mm-hmm. I wonder what percentage of the Kentucky rye they use from Green River. I'd be interested in that. Because they don't really go into... Because let's be honest, nobody really cares except fucking dummies like me and smart kids like you. It's like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. Like, but just on its face, 6-year plus age dated, phenomenal MGP rye. The honey barrels are done tastefully, indeed. I would say. It's not too sweet. It's not overly one way or the other. Pretty stoked we bought it.
I'm glad you bought it.
If
you have the means.
If I can find another $100, I might buy another one, but
right after.
I gotta talk to your mom about that.